こんにちは皆さん。お元気ですか? Welcome to the advanced course of my channel. Let's learn Japanese with Eric. In this lesson, we'll study an idiomatic use of suru, the ga suru expression that describes non-visual perceptions. よろしいですか? 始めましょう。何々がする is an idiomatic expression of the verb suru, which means to do. We use it to describe things, to express our perception of things by the non-visual senses. For example, what something tastes like, sounds like, smells like, voices like, and feels like. Again, these are non-visual senses. For visual perceptions, what we see, we use another idiomatic use of suru, the shite-iru expression, which we tackle in the next lesson. To use ga suru, we use the pattern X wa Y ga suru. What we talk about takes the particle wa, and the non-visual perception takes Y ga suru. In other words, X wa Y ga suru means X has property Y. There are 6 of these non-visual perceptions in common use. We have nioi ga suru, it smells like. Aji ga suru, it tastes like. Oto ga suru, it sounds like. Koe ga suru, it has a voice like. Kanji ga suru, it feels like, feeling from the heart. And ki ga suru, it feels like, using the mind. Now, nioi, aji, oto, koe, kanji, and ki are all nouns and stand for a non-visual perception. In the pattern X wa Y ga suru, the Y, which is put before these nouns, can be an adjective, both I and na adjectives. A noun, so we say noun no, and then the perception. And it can also be a verb or verb clause, which in effect gets nominalized by the non-visual perception. Only for nouns and verbs, it is optional to add yona in between them and the non-visual perception. Yona works as some kind of an adapter, basically transforming anything before it into a na adjective clause. However, this is optional. Now, let's look at some example sentences. First, the perception of smell. Smell is nioi. Nioi ga suru means smells like. その香水はどんな匂いがしますか? What kind of smell does that perfume have? その香水はどんな匂いがしますか? Now, using a noun, we can say ラベンダーのような匂いがします. It smells like lavender. And after removing yona, we can also say ラベンダーの匂いがします. It has a lavender smell. その香水はどんな匂いがしますか? And using an e adjective, we can say 甘い匂いがします. It has a sweet smell. 甘い匂いがします. その香水はどんな匂いがしますか? And using a na adjective, we can say, for example, 爽やかな匂いがします. It has a fresh smell. 爽やかな匂いがします. その香水はどんな匂いがしますか? And using a verb clause, we can say something like レモンを切ったような匂いがします. It smells like cut lemon. And removing yona, we can also say レモンを切った匂いがします. It has the smell of cut lemon. In further examples, we will no longer use yona. Taste is aji. Aji ga suru means it tastes like. そのケーキはどんな味がしますか? そのケーキはどんな味がしますか? What kind of taste does that cake have? Or what does that cake taste like? Using a noun, we can say something like 赤ワインの味がします. It has a red wine taste. or it tastes like red wine. 赤ワインの味がします。そのケーキはどんな味がしますか? Using an E adjective, we can say something like ちょっと渋い味がします。It tastes a bit bitter. ちょっと渋い味がします。そのケーキはどんな味がしますか? Using a na adjective, we can say something like 不思議な味がします。It has a mysterious taste, or it tastes mysterious. 不思議な味がします。そのケーキはどんな味がしますか? And using a verb clause, we can say something like ナッツとチーズを混ぜた味がします。It tastes of nuts and cheese mixed together. ナッツとチーズを混ぜた味がします。Sound is 音 and 音がする means it sounds like. その楽器はどんな音がしますか? What kind of sound does that musical instrument have? Or what does that musical instrument sound like? その楽器はどんな音がしますか? To use a noun, we can say something like 海の波の音がします。It sounds like the waves of the sea. 海の波の音がします。その楽器はどんな音がしますか? Using an E adjective, we can say something like 懐かしい音がします。It has a nostalgic sound. 懐かしい音がします。その楽器はどんな音がしますか? Using a na adjective, we can say 強力な音がします。It has a powerful sound. 強力な音がします。その楽器はどんな音がしますか? And using a verb clause, we can describe the musical instrument as 人を幸せな気持ちにする音がします。It has a sound that makes people feel happy. 人を幸せな気持ちにする音がします。Voice is 声 and 声がする means has a voice like. 隣の部屋からどんな声がしますか? What kind of voice is coming from next door? 隣の部屋からどんな声がしますか? Using a noun, we can say 若い女の声がします。It's the voice of a young girl. 若い女の声がします。隣の部屋からどんな声がしますか? Using an E adjective, we can say 小さい声がします。It's a small voice. 小さい声がします。隣の部屋からどんな声がしますか? With a na adjective, we can say things like 親切な声がします。It's a kind voice. 親切な声がします。隣の部屋からどんな声がしますか? Using a verb clause, 助けを呼ぶ声がします。It's a voice that's calling for help. 助けを呼ぶ声がします。A feeling that's coming from the mind is 気 and 気がする means it feels like. Let's look at sample sentences using this structure. 彼女は Yes と言ってくれる気がします。It feels like she will say yes to me. 彼女は Yes と言ってくれる気がします。あの二人はカップルになった気がします。It feels like those two have become a couple. あの二人はカップルになった気がします。田中さん夫婦は離婚する気がします。It feels like the Tanaka couple are divorcing. 田中さん夫婦は離婚する気がします。私は課長に主張に生かされる気がします。I feel like I'll be made to go on a business trip by my manager. 私は課長に主張に生かされる気がします。生かされる is the causative passive form of 行く to go, and it means be forced to go. You can review the causative passive conjugation in lesson 81. Kanji also means feeling, but it's more the feeling that comes from the heart and intuition. Kanji ga suru means it feels like. あの方はどこか紳士的な感じがします。I feel that there's something gentlemanly about him. あの方はどこか紳士的な感じがします。あの先生は冷たい感じがする人です。That teacher feels like a cold person. あの先生は冷たい感じがする人です。あの男にじろじろ見られて変な感じがします。I was stared at by that man, so I feel strange. It's more like I feel creepy being stared at by that man. あの男にじろじろ見られて変な感じがします。見られて is the passive form of 見る to see. It means being seen. You can review how to make the passive form in lesson 79. To summarize, がする allows us to describe non-visual perceptions. In other words, to express how something tastes, sounds, smells, voices, or feels like. The general pattern is X は Y がする, where X is the object or person we are describing and Y is the description. In other words, X has property Y. There are 6 very common non-visual perceptions that we use in this sentence construction. We have nioi ga suru, X smells like. Aji ga suru, X tastes like. Oto ga suru, X sounds like. Koe ga suru, X has a voice like. Ki ga suru, X feels like, as in what you feel in your mind. And kanji ga suru, X feels like, as in what you feel in your heart. And this ends our lesson on ga suru. In the next lesson, we study how to express visual perceptions using the wo shite-iru pattern. お疲れ様でした。頑張ってください。If you're serious about becoming fluent in Japanese, it's important to practice daily, learn grammar, and build up vocabulary. My whole course is designed to give you a strong basic foundation in the Japanese language that you can build solidly upon. So please click like, share, or subscribe and watch the next video in the series. 日本語の勉強に頑張ってください。じゃあ、またね。